Good morning, business math students. Today we will be going over Section 5 early loan repayments. This is an extension of Friday's installment loans. Before we move on though, I would like to take this time to remind you, some of you have homework from last week that has not been turned in. Also, some of you need to make arrangements to come in either before or after school to receive some extra help. You need to please let me know when you would be available for that. I will be here about the beginning of third hour today, so you can come in and talk to me then. Or Emily and Colton, you can shoot me an email and let me know. There are things that we need to make sure you guys all understand before we get up to the test. So today is early loan payments. So by the time we're done today, you'll be able to figure out the finance charges on Rule of 78 loans and calculate early loan repayment amounts on the Rule of 78 loans. Vocabulary-wise, yes, that was my dog Mishka. Rule of 78 is just a way that lenders find the finance charges. What they do is they take... Hopefully Mishka's done talking now. Anyway, Rule of 78 loans, this is a way a lot of lenders use to figure out the finance charges. They, just like before, they want to charge more interest up front. That way they get more money out of you. Here they add up the digits 1 through 12. They go with those because that's the number of months there are in a year. Once you finish adding those, you get up to 78. And so what they'll do is they'll take 12/78 of the total finance charges, charge it in the first month, 11/78 in the second month, and it goes on down from there. Unearned finance charges. This is when you pay off a loan early and the lender does not get those finance charges from you because you paid it off early. You didn't need it for as long as what you had thought. Earned finance charges are those finance charges that you have paid, the ones that the lender did earn for the time frame that you had the loan. And finance charge refund, this is used for their accounting purposes. When they don't get all the finance charges from you, they mark it down in their books as a finance charge refund, so that way everything works out well. And like I said, it's mainly for accounting purposes there. So we've already talked about how Rule of 78 gets its name. We talked about that with the definition. Remember, it adds up the digits 1 through 12 because that's the number of months in a 1-year loan. Then the number is 78. We've already gone over on how they allocate the finance charges. 12/78 is in the first month, 11/78 in the second month, and so on and so forth. And just remember, like our other installment loans, if you pay off the loan early, you still have to pay more finance charges in the first months than at the end. And it's just because your principal is higher. And you guys saw how that worked out Friday. So when you're paying on these, however long you're paying for, however many months, the finance charges that are associated with that month is the earned finance charges. Earned is just by the financial institution that has your loan. So rest of it, when you pay it off early, is unearned. Remember, the earlier you can pay this off, the better it is for you in the long run. And then we already talked about this too. Whatever is unearned, they can't claim it or anything. They have to treat it as a refund for accounting purposes. So in your textbook, you have page 157, and it's kind of a greenish colored chart. And we need that to figure these. So let's flip to the camera. We'll get that pulled up so you can take a peek at it. So this is what our chart looks like, and the majority of it's there for you to see. Otherwise, you guys can take a peek at it on 157. If you have one of the charts and tables booklets, it is in there also. So here we know we have a 12-month Rule of 78 loan. Finance charge is $80. They repaid the loan on the day the third monthly payment was due. Find the amount of finance charge that was earned and unearned. So what we will have to do, let me flip back to the camera here. We look at the original terms of the loan. We knew it was 12 months. And they say that it was paid off the day the third monthly payment was due. So you go across where those two meet, which is 57.69%. Okay, from there, we need to take a peek. How much was the total finance charges? Well, it's 80 bucks. So we're going to take our percentage we got off the chart times 80. And after you multiply these out, you're going to get 46.15. This is unearned. So when you figure these, the first number you receive is always unearned. Then to find your earned finance charges, it's just a matter of subtraction. So 80 minus 46.15, that's going to be 33.85, and this is earned. That's all there is to those. So we'll take a look at another example, and remember, you can pause these and work on them. So we have a 6-month Rule of 78 loan. Finance charges was $130. Paid it off at the end of the third month. So going back to our chart, we look up our number, which is 28.57% times 130. So that was our total finance charges. That was $37.14. Remember, this is unearned, it's always figured first. Then we'll take 130 minus our 37.14, and we come up with 92.86 for earned. That's all there is to these guys. So make sure you do another example, work through them. Remember, your textbook has some wonderful examples, and this all starts on 156. So the last half of this section, you still do have to use your chart. What we're trying to figure now is how much do you owe if you're going to pay it off early. So we know the loan is $3,600, and I'm going to jot these numbers down before we switch to the camera. So our loan is $3,600. Finance charges is $420. Payments were $335. And she's made 5 payments, and she's going to repay it when the balance for the 6th payment is due. We want to know how much does she owe. So when we look at this, we know that it was a 12-month loan. So we're going to take 12 minus 5 because she's already made 5 payments. We want to know how many payments does she have left. Well, we know it's 7. So 7 times our payment amount, which was, I wrote 333, it should have been 335. So 7 times 335, and this is going to be 2345. So this is the total of remaining payments. And yes, I love to abbreviate. We need to find the finance charge. So if you flip back to your chart, you go to your original terms. They're repaying it in the 6 months, so our number is 26.92%. And we're going to take that times our total finance charges, just like before. After you multiply that out, that's going to be 113.06, and remember, that's going to be unearned. So with these, our total amount of payments includes those finance charges, but we don't have to pay this 113. So we're going to take our 2345 minus 113.06. And this is going to give us 2231.94. So that is how much they needed to repay the loan in that 6 month. And with technology now, you call into the companies, they figure that for you. So we'll go through, we'll do one more example. Remember, you need your chart. We'll jot down these numbers and then we'll move on here. So it's a 9-month loan. $5,300 was our amount, or our principal. We're paying in the 6th month. Finance charges were $336.70. Payments were $626.30. How much will we owe? So there's all of our information we need to know. First, we need to take 12 minus 6 because we're repaying it in the 6th month. And that's going to give us, whoa, hang on a minute. It's a 9-month loan. Sorry. 9-month loan, we're repaying it in the 6th month. So we already know we made 5 payments. So we have 4 payments left. 4 times 626.30. So original terms of the loan minus how many payments we've made. We know is 5 because they repaid it in the 6th month. Gives us 4 payments left times our payment amount. After you multiply that, you get 2505.20. From there, we need to take our finance charges, $336.70 times, and you find the number on the chart. Remember, you go to the 9 across the top, down to the 6, and that number is going to be 13.33%. And so our unearned finance charges is $44.88. So 2505.20 minus 44.88 is going to be 2460.32. So that's how much totally is due. Work through letter D. Work through some examples in your book. It'll help you out with these. Just remember, take your original terms of the loan minus how many payments you have made to get those remaining payments. Otherwise, that is all for today. You do have one page in your workbook, page 55. Remember, 53, 54, and 55 are all due this Thursday. Some of you cannot afford any late papers already. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Please let me know if there's questions.